Matrix goes, and disco, and keyboards go. But there's one sound that no one knows. What do the bots say?
This is madness.
Hello, how you doing? This is Steve Favis. I'm broadcasting Mr. Robot's podcast, and I'm testing a multi-streaming software service called Restream, and I'm now broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, and it looks like Twitter. So we'll see how this podcast goes. Hopefully you can hear me properly, and all the channels are working. So I tested just a single stream earlier today with YouTube. There was a little audio glitches, so I'm going to rebroadcast this and retest this configuration with my Elon Musk commentary on his autonomous or Tesla bots, basically. So. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So we'll see how it goes. For some reason, LinkedIn is not streaming. I think there's a permission request on that. So I think they're still testing out their live events in a beta version. So hopefully this works out. The first thing I want to cover, my first audio stream today, or my first video podcast today, the audio glitch happened where the first third of it was not covering what I was talking about during Elon Musk's presentation. So I'm going to cover it one more time. So this is a do-over. This is only the third podcast I've requested or recorded, basically, so we'll see how it goes. I have some exciting guests coming up this week. I'll announce them later in the podcast and tweet them on Twitter and post them on LinkedIn and post them on Facebook and also YouTube. So all these streaming platforms, I feel like it's kind of interesting, so exciting times. So I'm going to cover this video now. And I'm going to cover, this is actually Elon Musk's announcement about 3 months ago for the Tesla bot. I thought there was, it seems like sort of an aggressive timeline, but I'm going to go step by step for his release announcement on this video, basically. So I'm going to switch over to the browser presentation, and I am going to go over his video. So hopefully the video plays. Let's hear if it plays. Wow, looks like we got audio. That's great. Perfect. So he starts out with this. Cool, like maybe I guess this is the actual. I don't know if you 3D printed them or whatever, but. Starts out with the actual chassis of the external chassis of the robot, basically. Looks kind of cool. Bipedal. The head is missing, probably because I guess later on we'll find out that it's a screen. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to lower this volume down a little bit. Hopefully it works out. And so I think he starts out with an actor dancing around. I'm going to skip the dance just to get directly to the commentary. He's doing a robot walk. And he dances around kind of cool and everything, and it's a little like hip hop, or not hip hop, but house music or something. So dance music, and I'll just skip forward to his presentation. He's leaving there. He has a little top on. There goes Elon Musk.
Unlike Dojo, obviously that was not real. Dojo is real. The Tesla bot will be real. But basically, if you think about what we're doing right now with cars, Tesla is arguably the world's biggest robotics company because our cars are like semi-sentient robots on wheels. And with the full self-driving computer, essentially the inference engine on the car, which will keep evolving, obviously, and Dojo, and all of the neural nets recognizing the world, understanding how to navigate through the world, it kind of makes sense to put that onto a humanoid form. They're also quite good at sensors and batteries and actuators. So we think we'll probably have a prototype sometime next year that basically looks like this. and it's intended to be friendly, of course.
I'll pause it here. He has been a bit of an AI alarmist, which ironically he is developing AI, obviously. I'm not on the pessimistic side. I'm more on the optimistic side. I think this is going to help I think AI in general is going to really help humanity, and but there is ethical AI, and a lot of that's human catering, basically. So.
And navigate through a world built for humans, and eliminate dangerous, repetitive, and boring tasks. We're setting it such that it is, at a mechanical level, at a physical level, you can run away from it.
So he's concerned about the thing obviously hurting somebody if it's too strong, too powerful, too fast, or whatever. I think he's far from anything that is close to iRobot, obviously, or whatever. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about a robot being too strong unless the handler programs it to do something bad, basically, and that's obviously a huge concern with humanoid robots and along with artificial intelligence. So, looks like he's got the target weight to be about 125 pounds. It seems like it's gonna be pretty light. 45-pound lifting capacity. Let's just fast forward this and go a little farther on.
And most likely overpower it. So hopefully that doesn't ever happen, but you never know. So it's a light, 5 miles an hour. If you can run faster than that, you'll be fine.
I'm going to go over the internals here. I saw this earlier in my earlier broadcast. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this stuff. Maybe we could go in there. So it looks like he has he's got 12 actuators in the arms. So that's 6 actuators per arm, I'm guessing. And the neck has 2 actuators. It has a screen for useful information, I guess. So the face will be a display. 2 torso actuators. So the problem with what I see here already is the actual anatomy here. It probably will not be able to move like a human. I could already tell some of the anatomical differences are completely obvious compared to an endoskeleton with soft muscles, which is what we're using for our patent, basically, and our technology, our humanoid robot technology. Hands are very complex. 12 actuators in the hands. It doesn't say anything about the sensory system as far as skin and being able to have that a tactile feel about what is on the outside of the robot, and the pressure sensors and force resistive sensors and stuff like that. It doesn't really talk too much about that. I've addressed this in my patent in the patent grant that I have. We have a kind of a grid system that's similar to a touch screen you find on a smartphone, except the whole the whole robotic system is encompassed in kind of a low resolution force resistant sensor, 2-dimensional array. So, so yeah, the legs look like they're overly simplified for human motion. I believe the person doing human motion capture for training, if they use human motion capture, will have a bit of to emulate its motions, basically, rather than the robot acting like or behaving and moving around like a human, basically. So let's see where this goes.
So yeah, it's around 5'8". Has sort of a screen where the head is for useful information, but it's otherwise basically got the autopilot system in it. So it's got cameras, got 8 cameras, and full self-driving computer.
So here's another interesting part where he talks about the computer. It looks like the majority of the torso will be constricted by a physically hard PCB board that's pretty large. I can infer from this that he does all the deep learning and stuff like that on board on the local system. Favis Advanced Robotics Corporation, our patent is basically going to be covering a much significantly smaller board that is going to be handling the model once it's processed in a cloud system that's off the actual robot. So movements for this robot will be very challenging if that board is obviously not on some sort of flexible PCB or flexible board, and there is a torso rotation, a spinal rotation. So the FSD computer, it looks, like I said, this gets a very large computer. Also, the power requirements I'm concerned about too are already on this form factor, especially if they're going to be doing the deep learning on board basically. So simulation tools looks like they're on there too. Dojo, I'm not too familiar with what he's talking about Dojo or whatnot. I just actually skipped the video. Go back again to that video.
And making use of all of the same tools that we use in the car. So, I mean, things I think that are really hard about having a useful humanoid robot is, can it navigate through the world without being explicitly trained? I mean, without explicit, like, line-by-line instructions. Can you talk to it and say, please pick up that bolt and attach it to the car with that wrench, and it should be able to do that. It should be able to, please go to the store and get me the following groceries, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think we can do that.
So he's talking about being able to communicate with the robot using natural language processing, or that method, those methods basically. I think the biggest issue is, so far that I see with this, is the, again, I'm not seeing a human in the loop as far as training it. Most of the patent I have covers the human in the loop. And we use human motion capture to do the initial training for the majority of the tasks that are at hand, basically. So it's going to have a natural language processing model that we've pretty much already developed, and with that, the human motion capture will trigger certain events or whatever for it to do those complex tasks or high level tasks. But again, the training with the human motion capture is going to be huge. It's going to be hard for him to go around my patent without the human motion capture element or whatever. So.
And yeah, this I think will be quite profound, because if you say it like, what is the economy? It is at the foundation, it is labor. So what happens when there is no shortage of labor? This is why I think long term that there will need to be universal basic income. Yeah. But not right now, because this robot doesn't work. And so
he's addressing universal basic income. It's very political, very interesting statement. I missed that on my last try at the broadcast. I sincerely disagree that that robots will be replacing humans for everything. I think there's always going to have to be a human in the loop auditing these things and training these things, maintaining them. So it's going to create a secondary economy, and I think they will be paid positions, and the best performers will be able to earn the best income and maintain their levels of employment, basically. This is, the whole purpose of money, from my knowledge, is basically for trade, for exchange of goods, and if we just keep on printing a currency that's fiat, we're just going to end up with hyperinflation. So I don't think a universal basic income is the solution to when these robots start working basically for us. So it's interesting how he's bringing that up.
We just need a minute. So, yeah, but I think essentially in the future, physical work will be a choice. If you want to do it, you can, but you won't need to do it. And yeah, I think obviously has profound implications for the economy, because given that the economy at its foundational level is labor, I mean, capital equipment is just distilled labor. Then is there any actual limit to the economy? Maybe not. So, yeah. Join our team and help build this. All right, so I think we'll have everyone come back on the stage, and you guys can ask questions if you'd like.
Huh, interesting. Well, there's no doubt that we are gonna. I mean, within 5 years, we just started cutting parts internally with Faubus Advanced Robotics Corporation. We should have a working prototype within about 2 years, pending no major obstacles or catastrophes with economy or whatever, or supply chain or whatever. But again, I don't think we'll ever have to worry about humans being replaced in most of these tasks, basically, because they still need trainers, and all these trainers for certain occupations will always need to help cater them and maintain them, adjust them, fix them, and also look out for them and make sure they're doing the right things. Basically, there should always be a human in the loop with robotics, basically, specifically humanoid robotics or any other robots that can be trained to do things, basically. So it's very important. I think he opens it up here. There's a part I watched earlier where he that I can't seem to find, where he does show the simulation or the simulator, and they comment on it, but I haven't seen it. He does a Q&A here. I think this video will roll into the Q&A. Steady cam.
There we go. All right, cool. You guys can bring me back on stage.
I'll keep this broadcast short. I think I covered this in the last half of the video, if it works, basically. So I just want to summarize that beginning of the podcast for people who missed the audio on the first one, which is most people right now. So I can't seem to go back and edit the YouTube video. For some reason, I can't edit my own video that I uploaded. I'm having trouble downloading it too. Maybe it's still processing on the cloud side of YouTube. Who knows? Anyways, thanks for listening to the broadcast. This is a good test to see how the stream worked on this streaming service. It is called Restream, basically. I can stream through multiple channels, and hopefully this works out. So thanks for watching. Again, this is the Mr. Robots podcast. Thank you very much.